Okay, so today we're going to use bands. We're going to use a step bench if you have it, but definitely not required. And we're going to go on the floor. So today, if you don't usually go on the floor, please consider it because we're going to spend more time than usual on the floor. And we're not going to do it's just going to be different. So it'll be something I think everybody can enjoy. Um, so to consider that. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's start with a breath in and a breath out. Circle the shoulders back. Okay, and before we use the bench, we're gonna squeeze the seat, squeeze the thighs. Real firm, pull in the belly and squeeze the urinary muscles and hold. Shoulders up, back down, and then relax. So this is, like a 100% contraction. Seat, thighs, belly, urinary muscles pull up, shoulders wide, back and down. Breathe. Kind of a 3 breaths, squeeze tight. And relax. Let's do that one more time. So this is getting all the core muscles, giving that tight squeeze. Like if you're feeling a lot of tension with standing during the day, so you have, hopefully those long hours in the kitchen are over with the holidays. But if you have to stand a long time, this is a good way to contract and relax, and your muscles will feel better. Let's try it again. Squeeze the seat, belly, urinary muscles, shoulders wide. Be sure to breathe. So here you're breathing more into your upper lungs because the belly doesn't really move. Squeeze tighter and hold, and we'll do a side bend. Also, good type of squeeze if you have a backache while you're standing. Just give that firm hold to all of those 3 muscle areas: seat, belly, urinary muscles. And then let's go ahead and relax. Now with a deep breath, you can breathe all the way into the belly and out, and a breath in and out. Okay, now we're going to do a balance with that kick front and back. So that's kick to the front, to the back, kick, kick. You speed it up. It becomes a little easier. So kick, kick, kick. You could use your arms, or you could have a hand on the chair. Kick, 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 kick. Let's go to the other leg. Kick, kick. A natural arm swing can help with balance, or you could hold on to your chair. Those kicks to the front and the back while you balance. And I do notice in my foot muscles, my ankle muscles really work to keep the balance. Let's open and close. As we do a big backward arm circle. And then circle in the wrists. Okay, now we're going to try called a high knee jumping jack. So up, ready to go to your toe, and down, and up, and down. And if your arms or shoulders bother you, you don't have to go all the way up, or you could go, possible to go up to the front. For some people, that would not bother their arms. Up to the toe and down, and up and down, kind of working on control. Circle the shoulders backward. Okay, and now we're going to do some punching with leg lifts in all directions. So let's do a punch, 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 lift to the front. Punch, 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 lift to the side. Punch, 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 a lift to the back. Well, let's keep our punching going. Punch, 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 front, punch, 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 side, punch, punch, back. Getting all those hip muscles, working the arms so you get a little hard breathing. Punch, 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 front, a little bit of balance too. Side, punch, 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 back. Okay, let's circle the shoulders back. Take a breath in, a breath out, and then we'll go to the other side. Make sure you have clearance. And here we go. We'll so start kind of slow. So a punch, 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 front. Punch, 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 side. Punch, 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 back. For all of these, the knee is mostly straight. Punch, 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 front. Punch, 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 side. Keeping the heart lifted. Punch, 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 back. Okay, let's keep the punch going. 1, 2, 3, front, punch, 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 side, punch, punch, back, punch, 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 front, belly in, side. One more time around, nice straight back, punch, 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 side, punch, punch, back, and down. And we'll take a breath in and a breath out. So nice work on that. All those movements that require balancing in one position. Let's stretch the upper chest. We're going to tap a toe back as we do a breaststroke. So tap and together. Reach, pull and tap and down. Reach, pull back and tap, getting all the back muscles and down. Reach, pull back, tap and down. Tap together. Tap together. So this is a good way to balance. Also, get all the back muscles and stretching the front of the chest. Tap and down. Reach, tap. One more. Tap and down. Let's take a breath in, a breath out, and then getting ready for something we're going to be doing with the bands later on. So bands, bench, and floor if you're a little late. So what we're doing, we're going to take a small lunge back. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Here, you could use the chair if you need it. So we're going to take a small lunge back, bend both knees. And so even if you have a knee problem, if you can just do a small lunge, more of a split step, we're going to do a double punch and then lift the back leg. So the punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift together. And let's do a small back lunge on the other side. Punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, and now back together. And a breath in, and a breath out. And if you're able to do a bigger lunge, let's do that. So this will just be according to your ability. Small lunge, big lunge, whatever you can do. It's a little more, we're trying to put force into the hips. Gives a little more force with the bigger lunge. Unless, if we can, let those punch to the sides. So we'll go a punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, and now together, together. And we'll go to the other side. Whatever lunge you're capable of with that back leg lift. Shoulders are back over the hips. Still making sure you see your front leg. Here we go. Punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift, punch, punch, lift. Back together. Circling the shoulders back. Let's do a breath in. A breath out. Nice and deep breath. Seat about 50% contracted. Belly lightly contracted, but urinary muscles at least 50% contracted. A breath in and a breath out. Do a little swing. Also thinking here, loosening the arms. We're doing a lot of punching, but your whole body's swinging. Hips twist, knees twist, ankles twist. Okay, and then we're gonna get our bench, and we're gonna start with your bench perpendicular to the screen. So just a little, yeah. You want your chair in front of your bench in case you need it for balance, because we're going to do side stepping. So that's the placement of your chair for that occasion when you might need it for balance. I moved my chair so that you can see me okay. Okay, so we're going to start. You have to back up. All right. We're going to start standing on the bench. Hi up there. Okay, let me make sure you see my feet fairly well. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with a side step, just working on that. So we're going to step down, touch, up, together. Other side, down, touch, up, together. Working to stay in the center of your bench, down, touch, up, together. Without a bench, you just step to the side, down, touch, up, together. Kind of getting used to where that bench is. Now we're going to go down together, and we're going to step over the bench far enough that you could get your other foot over here in a moment. We're not doing that yet. And we're going to do 2 bounces where we go up on the toes, hard thump on the heel, that bone density thump, up on the toes, hard thump, and together. Now we're going to step the other way. Bit of a side lunge. We'll do that bone density thump, toes, heels, and oops, sorry, wrong way for me. Back this way, feet together. So we're reaching out with one foot and then the other to get that stretch and force into the hips, and then we're adding the thump for bone density also. Now this time your choice, we're going to step over, your choice of a thump like we've been doing, or a jump, 2, whatever you want, thump or jump, and then we'll bring the foot over. I'm thinking of keeping my back, it's leaned forward a little when I'm stepped to the side, but it's not curl. So just think of always keeping the back flat. Let's step the other way, big step. And thump or jump. Bring the other foot over. And we'll step back, thump or jump, back over. And let's go one more. Step, thump or jump, and back over. So by spreading the legs and then thumping or jumping, that alters the force that we're getting into the hips if we were to jump in this position. Okay, now we'll do a stomp. Over the bench, stomp, 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 and bring that leg over the bench, stomp, stomp, and back over. Again, remembering that flat back, step, stomp, 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 over, step, stomp, 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 back together. Let's do a breath in and a breath out. Now your chair can still be in front there. We're going to stand on the back of the bench. And just to work on some balance. So we're going to tap forward and back together. Let's try the other side and tap forward and back together. You could be standing on the floor. If you're standing on the bench, it like creates this little sense of I've got to keep my balance, which is good. Touch, back together, touch, back together, and touch, back together. Now we're going to vary that. We're going to touch to the front, back together, down to the side, back together, to the back, and back up on the bench. Front, together, side, together, back, together. Let's tap forward, together. Now, if you want to go a little further out to the side, you can. Gives you a little more hard landing to the hip, which is one thing we're looking for, to the back. One more time, at front, together, side, together, back, together. And then we'll go to the other leg, but let's kind of shake that leg out. And we'll go to the other side. So that tap, together, side, together. I'm starting out gentle, back, together, front, together. We're taking more of a step this time, side, together, back, together, front, side, back. I'm having a nice bit of extra breathing. Last one, front, side, back. Okay, let's step down off the bench. A breath in, a breath out. And then let's just come up. So your chair is probably about here, hand on the chair. Let's do that kick forward and kick back. Kind of relax the hips and the other leg. And then we're going to turn the bench, if you have one, crosswise. And here we're going to put the chair side of the bench for your hand if you need it. Okay, and we're going to start with standing on the bench. We're going to step backward, and then we're going to lift to both toes, up, down, and step up. Step back to other leg, lift onto both toes, step up, back, down, both toes, and up. And I'm trying to keep my shoulders over the hips the whole time. My trunk kind of travels with my foot. So I just went back with my foot and forward up on the toes, and forward. 2 more, toes, and forward, toes, and forward. Okay, now let's go down to the floor and take a breath in. If you have a bench, you notice it's just more effort. Your breath increases more, your heart rate increases more, and you're building more strength in the muscles, especially the thigh and the hips. And we're gonna step on the bench, and as we step up, we're gonna kick back so we can touch a heel. So let's just do that standing first. And you step, touch, step, touch. So just reach a hand back behind your thigh. See if you can kick back alternately, touching your hand. So extra knee bend and back of the thigh strength. As you do it, one thing to think about is keeping the knees close together. Because say if your quadriceps here are really tight, your knee will come way out. Try to keep them together. We want to stretch the quadriceps and also strengthen the hamstring. So if the legs stay close together, it's a little better. Let's try stepping up, the kick, back down, together, step up, the kick, back down, together, a step, a kick, down, together, a step, a kick, down, together, a breath in, a breath out. If you're secure with that, you could try a double kick. So a step, kick, kick, down, together. And that's to increase the balance part of it. Step, kick, kick, down, together, a step, kick, kick, down, together. Last one, step, kick, kick, down, together. Breath in, breath out. Circle the shoulders back. Okay, so good work on the leg muscles, bone density in the hip. That last one, some stretching and a lot of knee movement. We're going to set the bench aside and we're going to get ready to sit in the chairs. Oh, yeah, impacts. We'll do those soon. Okay. Okay, so let's come to the front of the chair where you feel it behind your legs. Let's bend, stick the seat out, touch the chair lightly. If you can, confidently take both hands away. You may need one hand on the chair if you feel a little wobbly. Flatten the back. You can put your hands on your thighs and flatten the back. Check the knees. Knees separated. Same as your feet. Everything separated 6 inches. Okay, here we go. Irish wristwatch 5 times as you slowly sit. Saying Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch. Breath in, a breath out. Let's bring the hands to the knees, elbows in. Come part way up just till your elbows are straight. Arms back. Pull the thumbs back, so really widening the shoulders. Palms will face out. Check your chair is right there. You could use one hand on the chair if you need to. It's green Greek grapes 5 times as we sit. Green Greek grapes, green Greek grapes, green Greek grapes, green Greek grapes, green Greek grapes. Get a breath in. A breath out. Let's bring the hands to your knees again, feet flat, chest forward, flat back here. And we're going to raise just until the elbows are straight. Okay, and then this time we're going to bring the thumbs back again, and we'll do an abbreviated version of a tongue twister. We'll do seashells by the seashore 5 times. Seashells by the seashore, 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 and down. A breath in, breath out. So those tongue twisters to maintain different muscles of the tongue and cheeks, just to help keep articulation. Especially if you don't talk on the phone a lot or talk to other people a whole lot, it just helps to do those. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do hands to the knees again. And come up part way till the elbows are straight. And then we're going to lead with the thumbs. As you come up, straighten the knees. Stretch up. Stretch up. That's it. Getting that great rib cage stretch. And down. And then a breath in. A breath out. And we're going to go ahead and do our impacts before we sit again. So I'm going to turn on music for myself. Hopefully it doesn't distort things too much. I want to keep a beat here. Just want you to know, say you're feeling tired. We've been exercising for almost 30 minutes. You can do these impacts sitting. So just remember that, that is a possibility. Okay. So I have a march on, which if you're doing these yourself, marches are really easy to work with for impacts. So I'm doing a stomp. And we'll separate, adding plenty of force out and in. Variation, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Let's pedal. Catch your breath. And we'll double pace. And we'll go to a jog. And we'll try some of those same things with the jog. Out. And in. Belly in. Urinary muscles contracted. And together. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Let's toes in. Now it's easy. I'm coming down firm on my heels. Really feel it in my seat. Toes out. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to step, hop, step, hop, hop, and faster. Just like skipping. And back to a pedal. I'm going to do a toe jog. Knuckle my toes. Now I'm going to walk on my heels. And with some firmness. I got my toes lifted. I'm really just on my heels. I'm going to slow it down. And back to a regular stomp. Faster. Keep it fast. Separate a little. Back together. Breath in. We slow it down. Well, now some kick, kick, kick. Kind of our move of the day. Other leg, kick, 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 kick. Good for the knees. Okay. 3 minutes of mostly impacts. More than enough. A breath in, a breath out, and we're gonna sit and take the shoes off. So you can sit, good form. Go ahead, go to your chair. Okay, and take your shoes off. And come halfway forward in your chair. Okay, we're gonna reach back. Right. This is to keep the heart wide, keep the back straight. I'm just bringing my fingertips back on something on the back of my chair. For me, I could reach to the back of the seat. Kind of curling around the frame there. Okay, let's bounce one leg. Feel how your stomach contracts. You can use your ankle to help you with that balance. Let's go to the other side. And remind the back to stay straight, the heart lifted. Let's go back to this side. Now what we'd like to do is cross the ankle over the knee. And you could do that on a footstool. If you know, for example, your hip is not able to do that movement, you could cross at the ankle or just put your foot on like a lower footstool. So because what we're looking for is knee falling out. So anyway, you can bring it up, that's good. But what we want, whatever height works, we're working on maintaining that external rotation of the hip and using the back muscles by keeping a straight back. And for just a minute, we're going to give a push with the hands to stretch in the hip, and then let your elbows bend. Breath in, straight back, bend at the hips, give a push with your hands. Feel that stretch in the outer hip. And we're going to come back up, straight back. I'm going to kind of drop my arms so my shoulders don't hunch. My shoulders down. I'm going to circle in the ankle one way, circle in the ankle the other way. I'm going to reach forward. I'm going to grab the knee and the ankle and bring my elbows in, straighten the back, and I'm going to pull on this ankle. See if I can lift that leg a little. Put it down. And then arms coming back again, and I'm going to undo that leg. I'm going to go to the other leg, straight back, ankle up and over. I'm going to push, bending at the hips, back straight still. It's like my heart is coming out over that leg a little bit. A few breaths. I really want to stretch that hip. I'm going to lift back up. One more time, a breath in. Flatten the back, bend at the hips, heart coming forward, back flattened, no rounding of the back. It's all to stretch the hip. And then we'll come back up, and we're gonna lower the shoulders, circle in that ankle, getting full ankle movement, and then circle the other way. This should feel really good if you haven't been circling or flapping your ankles over this week off. It feels so good to have that ankle get a stretch. And then we'll bring that foot down, We're going to pivot out, up to the toes, straight back, up on the tippy toes, down, toes in, squeeze the knees and up on the toes. Getting that foot strengthening, that hip movement, toes. Knees in, a squeeze until you feel the stomach, toes, down, out. Feel the hips stretch, up, down. Last thing, toes in, a squeeze, and up. Okay. Let's open and close the hands to the front, out to the sides, relax and circle, 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 and then circle the other way. If your heart has fallen forward, lift the heart and we'll circle the other way. So these heavy arms force the back muscles to work a little harder. And then we're going to bring the hands in, clench the belly. Let's look back and forward, look back, and forward, and back, and forward, back, and forward, arms down. Separate the legs, flat back now. We're going to do our lean and then curl. So leaning down, flat back, and then tuck the chin, curl up, look towards your lap, and unroll. Wide shoulders, leaning down. Lean, 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 and then curling up, pulling the belly. Unroll. Bring legs in and scooch a little more on the front edge of the chair, although you're probably very far out there. We're going to cross the hands, lift the heart into your hands to straighten your back, clench the belly, and we'll lean back. We'll hold, we're going to lift, straighten, bend, and here we're going to really clench the belly, so we can do a switch, straighten, bend, down, a lift, even a lean forward, coming up. Now that you have the hang of it, as we slowly lean back, keep your chin parallel to the ground. So we want the neck relaxed, clench the belly so that, feel it. Firmness, come to your belly. Let's go other leg first. Lift, straighten, bend, and we'll do switch. Keep the chin tucked, some attention to how the neck feels. And down, a lift, a lean. We'll do 2 more of those. Coming back, lift, straighten all the way, lift, and we do that switch. Relax the neck, kick, bend, down, lift, and lean, up, straight back, slowly back, and a lift, full straightening, bend, switch, straighten, bend. Now, let's see if we can grab that knee, lift and grab your other knee, pull, and give a little rock. Let your head tip forward, stretching the back and the neck. And then we'll finish with the strengthener. So to look forward now, clench the belly and pull in the urinary muscles. We're going to let go. And we'll slowly lower to the tippy toes, a little bouncy, bouncy. Keep those muscles clenched. Keep the chin lowered. And we'll go flat. Cross and then straighten the back. Clench the belly and lift up. So really good dynamics there. Everybody keeping those positions for the different exercises for strengthening in the abdomen. Let's go ahead. We're going to do a seat strengthener, and then we're going to go on to the bands, and then we'll be going to the floor. Just look. Okay, great. Good timing. Okay, so we're going to lean back again. Bring your hands to the front edge of your chair. Scoot your hips as you need so you could get a firm hold. what we want to do, hold down the front edge of your chair. As you lift your hips, your visualization is contracting your seat to push your hips toward the ceiling. So think of that coming from your seat muscles, tightening firmly and slowly lowering. Your head, you don't want to look up or hang back. Kind of keep your chin down and looking forward. We want to keep the neck uninvolved, just the neck relaxed. So knees separated, feet separated, contract the seat. Use the seat muscles to push your hips forward and down. Let's do 2 more of those. Hands on the front edge, contract the seat, neck relaxed, looking forward, lift, contract, see if you can go even a little more. We'll slowly lower. This is also getting the lower spine, all of those muscles contracting for bone density. Contract again, knees separated, urinary muscles contracting, and that lift, pushing up and down. Okay, let's scooch a little more back on the chair with a straight back. We'll do a lift, and then we'll go ahead. We'll relax these muscles. Let's reach over to each toe. There's one toe. Nose falls towards your knee. A strengthener coming up, so reach straight out. Back muscles lift you over the other leg, and then let yourself just drape over that thigh. Reach straight out and a lift. Come in and a breath in, a breath out, circle back. And we're going to put the shoes back on and go to standing, and then we'll be going to the floor. And I encourage everybody to try the floor today. We're going to spend a while on the floor. It's not going to be quite as vigorous, but it'll be there a while, working on core muscles. Let's go ahead. Shoes on. And your band. We'll start, we're going to warm up with upper back, rotator cuff, and latissimus dorsi. So what we're going to do is reach out, and my hands are a little wider than my shoulders as I look down. My hands are a little bit wider than my shoulders. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate, bend my elbows. So kind of separate, bend the elbows. Now I have quite a bit of tension on the band. I'm going to come overhead, and then I'm going to go overhead to a Y. We come back to bent elbows and forward. So one way to alter this, if you find that's too much, is you can loosen by loosening the band so you have less tension on the band. So let's reach forward, that bend and separate, pivot up, straighten to a Y, pull the elbows down and forward. This part, up the rotator cuff. This part, in pulling down, is the latissimus dorsi, which is one of the important muscles for supporting the low back. Up, down, forward. One more. Belly in, seat firm, reach, bend the elbows, and forward. And we'll just come to the front and loosen that and bring it down. Let's go ahead, circle the shoulders backward. Now we're going to use the band to get some leg and seat strengthening. So we're going to stand with both feet on the band. And then we're going to hinge at the hip, but still a flat back, and bend the knee, the elbows. And then by driving the hips forward and straightening, we have the resistance of the band to work on those hip muscles that bend and straighten. All the time we're building endurance in the grip. Keep the wrists straight, keep the elbows in. So my elbows are coming straight to the back. That bend, drive the hips forward. That bend, and drive the hips forward. Now we're going to go to one foot on the band. And we're gonna come up and bend the elbows again. So what I'm trying to do as I do this, I'm trying to keep my wrists straight, my elbows in. So we don't want the wrists bending, that would be hard on them. So I have the band coming out kind of near my thumbs, and I'm trying to keep my wrists straight. If you have a really sharp band, you might have to straighten your elbow. A short band, you might have to straighten your elbows. If you have a longer band, you can bend your elbows. We're going to do back lunges with a kick. So this is providing extra force into that front thigh and front hip. So a back lunge. We'll do a kick, a punch, punch, kind of diagonal and forward. And let's do that 4 times. I'm keeping my elbows back. Smaller, big back lunge, punch, punch, step forward. Say the lunge is not working. You could go back to this position and do the punch, punch with both feet on the band. So your choice. Step back, go with kick, punch, punch, in forward, back, punch, punch, in forward. One more. Let's do a kick, punch, punch, in forward. That was working on bone density pretty vigorously on that front hip. You can go to the other side, or you can stay with both feet and your squat if you want. In the elbows, have it under my front foot, back lunge, kick, punch, punch, coming forward, back, kick, punch, punch, in forward. Good lunging there, people. Those are some nice looking lunges. Kick first, punch, punch, and forward. Last one. Step back, donkey kick there, punch, punch, and forward. And so where you're feeling it most likely is the front hip. So it's definitely what we're working on. Okay. All right, let's take a breath in, a breath out. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to put it under both feet again. Okay. And then you could bend your elbows a little. It depends on the length of your arms and the size of your band. But just want to create some tension with bent elbows. of this, and I'm going to tap to the side, tap and in, tap and in, belly in, seat contracted, urinary muscles contracted. I'm using my whole core, tapping out and in and out and in, building some endurance in that hip. Let's go to the other side, out and in, out,
Be better.
in, elbows back, out and in,
10, 15 minutes.
and in. Someone, I'm hearing some talking,
Thank you. Okay.
and then we're just gonna pull up with the elbows going back. Working on the shoulder muscles, so you can see the elbows go back. Again, seat, stomach, urinary muscles tightened. Okay, and we'll unhook. We're gonna set the band aside. We're gonna loosen up the wrists. One thing about the bands, let's open and close as we do a backward arm circle, tight seat, is that if you can avoid wrapping the band around your hands, you really develop grip strength and bone density. So at first, the band seems like a lot to hold on to, but the grip strength, I've noticed, increases very quickly. So generally using the bands, try not to wrap it around your hands unless, say, you've got really bad arthritis. So it really doesn't work to grip. And I can understand that. But if your hands are okay with it, try it without wrapping it. Circle the shoulders back. Let's take a breath in and out. We're going to come to the side of the chair. We're going to get ready to go on the floor. We're going to do some side body and some front body exercises. So let's come to the side of the chair. Let's step forward. Come on the ball of your back foot and use the seat of your chair or the back of your chair, or you could use both hands if you need to. Just want to bring softly one knee to the floor. And then we can go ahead and bring both knees to the floor. And let's start with laying on the side. We'll take shoes off as we come down. Go ahead, take your shoes off. And we're going to lay on the side. I'm just adjusting my computer here. Go ahead and lay on the side, and we're going to lay all the way down. Bend the lower knee. The top leg is straight, the ankle is flexed, and if you could see my foot, the side of my foot is toward this, the ceiling. I don't want to turn my toe up. Keep the side of my foot towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to pull this leg back. So my leg was out here in front a little bit, which feels a little more natural, but I'm going to pull it back. And you could use a cushion under your head or your arm. This hand in front can support. This bent knee helps to support. And then I'm just going to do a leg lift to the side. So if the leg is pulled back, you don't go very high. And it's really strengthens in the hip. This is the part of the hip we were stretching when we were seated. We do a slow, careful lift and the slow release, keeping the side of your foot toward the ceiling or the toe pointed straight ahead. And then we want to relax that muscle. So I'm going to pull this lower leg forward a little, bend the knee, and give a pull to work on that hip. Then I'm going to push up with my arms and my elbow And I'm gonna go over to the other side. These types of kicking, lifting the leg to the side, very helpful for maintaining hip health and the stability of the hip. And there's a lot of focus with these on doing it with this certain alignment. So we have the lower knee bent. It can even be forward a little, top leg straight, ankle flexed, toe faces straight forward, and then I pull back. And then I lift. So I only get about 1.5 feet of lift before the motion, the way the joint is, you just can't go any further if you're pulling back. And then you want to feel it kind of side and back of the hip. Slowly lift and lower. We do a lot of this standing, but it's really, you get a lot more muscle work when you're laying down out of the hip muscle. So pull to stretch. And from here, we're just going to go over onto the back and do 2 exercises kind of for the core. So you want to lay on your back with your knees bent and feet flat. Bring your hands on your stomach. So my fingertips are kind of just below the waistline on each side of the belly button, or below the belly button. And here what I want to do is I want to tighten those muscles. I'm going to feel it with my hands. So I tighten them and flatten them. And I'm trying to push my belly button toward the floor with my abdominal muscles. I'm going to lift one leg and kick it out, and lift and kick. I'm going to switch, bend, kick, bend, kick. And then I'm going to check in, put that flat, check in with my abdominal muscles. Again, a breath in. As you breathe out, flatten and tighten the muscles. Your low back comes closer to the floor. Try breathing. Now this will be mainly a shorter breath into the lungs. Keeping the abdominal muscles nice and tight, and we'll lift one knee and kick. One knee, kick, and then we'll switch it out. A kick. Good. So I'm just bending my knee and kicking straight, and my focus is so much on keeping this abdomen tight. Now let's take a belly breath in through the nose. Flatten your belly as you breathe out. Feel that with your fingers. Hold that tight belly. Lift both knees. And we'll alternate a kick, keeping that tight belly. Your low back should not be moving at all. So there's no extension of the low back. It's just holding firm because your stomach muscles are really controlling things for you. Okay, let's bring the feet down and take another breath all the way now into the belly. And then breathe out and flatten the belly again. Belly flat, belly button pushing toward the floor. And we're going to straighten both legs. Keeping that belly flat, we're going to lift one leg and take it down and lift the other leg. The straight legs are long and heavy. Really focus on keeping that tightness under your fingertips. The slow movement is more strengthening than fast movement, and we might try one leg up, reinforce the belly, try a switch. And a switch, and a switch. Bend that knee, bend the other knee, pull them to your chest, and do a rock side to side. Now making sure the back muscles are relaxed, the neck is relaxed. And then we're going to put the feet flat, arms to the side. So we're going to do a twist to keep mobility in the low back. So feet are at least hip width apart. So the feet are rather wide. Keep your shoulders down and let the knees fall to one side. So I want you to feel a stretch in the hip, rotation in the back, and traditionally the head turns to the opposite side. And then use your belly to pull the knees up. And then we let the knees fall to the other side and turn your head away. Shoulders stay down. And you just let your body stretch, drape over in this direction. And then we'll come back to the center. Now to come up, we're going to start by sitting. You can do it however you want, but if you've been coming to class for a while, you'll recognize this move where you tuck the chin, grab your knee, and then we swing a leg, kind of rock yourself up. So if you're used to that, feel free to do that. If that's not going to work, you could use your elbows and get yourself up or turn on your side. And we're going to crawl over to our chair. So you can see my legs. So I'm going to put my hands on the chair, then I'm going to come to my forearms on the chair. And I'm going to bring one leg forward. You can reach down and give a pull if you need to. Tuck your back toes. And then go ahead and see if you can lift your seat. Bring your legs together. And come the rest of the way up. That's that technique for standing, especially if you should be injured or a little unsure of yourself, or if you're not used to getting up and down from the floor. Okay, everybody. So those of you that come to live class, we'll see you Thursday. Bring weights and bring a floor mat. So if you're in the Thursday class, to bring weights and a floor mat. Okay, let's go ahead and do our 5 deep, vigorous breaths. Palms forward, pull back, tighten the seat, pull in the urinary muscles, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's circle back.